Hello, beautifuls. I wanted to start today by sharing a little bit of my experience on my spiritual journey. When I first awoke to the idea, or the knowing is probably a better word, that there was something more to me and to my life than just what I had been experiencing to that point. And that led me on this journey to seek who I was, to seek connection. And I was ravenous. I couldn't get my hands on enough texts. I watched videos, I listened to podcasts, I paid for teachers, all on this journey to find who I was. And it always seemed like it was so close. I just needed one more piece of information. And yet that one piece of information never came. It was never quite enough. It was this space where I thought, oh, I cognitively understand it, but I haven't experienced it yet. When I was able to experience that deeper aspect of who I am, and to literally experience a connection to everything, that came about spontaneously. It came when I was actually communing with nature in the forest along a river. It had nothing to do with books. It had nothing to do with learning. It had nothing to do with seeking. And so I wanted to share that experience today, just to help understand the point that I am going to try to emphasize today. And that is, when we are looking to connect with our truest essence, when we go on that soul quest or that soul journey, that often we go about it the wrong way. We go about it using the mind. And through beliefs and patterns, we've assigned ourselves a character. And this is who we like, we dislike, what we do and don't do, what we believe and don't believe. And because we identify with this character, we are unable to actually see what lies beneath, what and who we are at our truest essence. And it's ironic, because the more actively you seek, the less chance you are going to have at finding it. And that is because in the very act of seeking, you deny what's already there. So you can liken it to the concept, if we've lost something, as long as it's lost, we don't have it, or we can't have it, we can't be it. And it is the same when we are seeking to find out who we are denying that we already are that bigger part of us than our thoughts and our actions and beliefs. The mind identifies so much with this character, and the mind loves concepts, it loves information, and it identifies with all of those things. And so it will keep us yearning for that search, for that last bit of information. And the irony is, as long as we seek, we are prevented from finding what it is we're looking for. So how do we go about this realization of the self? Well, it really involves being absent of any mind identification. And so what we really have to do is we have to stump the mind. And one of the age-old practices is to ask the question, who am I? And as we sit in that space, who am I? Our mind will come up with a plethora of answers. And when we look at each answer, we can disregard it as not being us. Because if we can see it, it's not us. It's just like a knife can't cut itself. So if we're seeing the thought, it can't be us because we're the observer of that thought. And as we keep ruling out each thought that comes up, eventually the mind gets exhausted because it cannot come up with an answer, and it sort of shorts out for a moment, or it quiets, so that we actually come to a place where we can realize who we are at our truest essence. When we realize the self, it is because the mind has stopped identifying with that character, with the beliefs that we associate with that character and the patterns. And in that place of mind stillness, we can connect to the deeper and truest aspect of who we are. I thank you so much for joining me for this perspective. And if there is anyone out there who is wishing to deepen their knowledge of self, to connect with self, there are many meditations and different practices that you can use to quiet the mind. And if you are so desiring help in doing that, again, I am more than happy to assist. Until we speak again, each and every one of you, please be well.